Hey everyone, coming up, we're going to be wasting away again in Margaritaville. Live from the Bob Varley studio in Orlando, Florida. This is the Universal Edition of The Diz Unplugged. This is episode 76 of the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition.
He's eating a sandwich.
Literally twice in 1 week. The Diz Unplugged Universal Edition is brought to you by Dreams Unlimited Travel. Experts at helping you plan the perfect
Sandwich.
universal vacation. Visit them on the web at
Where's that?
www.dreamsunlimitedtravel.com.
On the web.
Okay.
Hello, everyone. I
wish we had a laugh track. I would have at least played it twice already. Like canned laughter, like Full House style.
Okay, I am so pissed off at myself. On the Tuesday show, I forgot to close out the screen that had YouTube in it. And so it started up, and Pete just about finished his intro, and then it kicked on and started talking, and I just did the same freaking thing again today.
Oh, could you hear yourself on the computer?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear it in the microphone.
Oh, okay,
Oh,
well, then
yeah,
it's
no.
just me.
That's
Yeah,
why I
now
didn't
I
know you
just
were
made
giggling
a
And you just
complete imbecile of myself.
Messed up the whole introduction for no reason.
Exactly.
I can't change the shot until you introduce us.
No, you absolutely can. There are some shows that the people never get an introduction. So you guys should be fortunate enough that I ever mention your name.
Oh, excuse me.
I am your host today, Craig Williams, joined with Jenny Lynn Knopp,
Hello, everybody.
and then back on the controls, the one who did not screw up today,
Just
Rhino Clavin.
Mark it on the record.
Everybody, yep, it's on the
Mark it on.
record now.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we're actually pulling this one off. So it's been a very busy day in terms of everything for us getting ready for this show. Big news coming out on top of that,
Massages and...
Yeah, or on top of the great and powerful Pete Warner made sure that we all got massages today before we went on air.
All like
So
loosey-goosey,
Still great. We all look real wide today.
broad
Yeah, I
shoulder.
I feel wide. I'm sorry.
long
yeah,
neck.
this is the best posture I've had in
Yeah.
a while, which is
Like,
not
We're all, like, all of our headroom is just being cut off slightly.
just slightly. I mean, that's a good thing. But like, I'm also watching it too because if I like sit how I want to now, my boobs are really like popping out.
Yeah.
That's
I'm having a
usually my
pop day,
job.
too.
Yeah, well,
Stepping on my territory.
got moob issues today. But no, we're in for a really great show. I think, in my opinion, we
knows?
have our review of Margaritaville. We're gonna be talking about a little bit of King Kong.
A what?
A little bit of King Kong. King Kong.
Kong?
We're gonna be talking
Tell
about
the natives.
Hello Kitty.
Say it.
We're
feline.
going to be doing all of that, and
Why did you
just
say
a little bit.
Spanish? Hello Kitty's Japanese.
Ola Feline was the off-brand Hello Kitty. My family could not afford the on-brand.
Oh, understood.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a joke from
Let's
Happy
go.
Endings.
That's what's going to
just so
happen
everybody knows.
with all that. So before we get started, does anyone have anything pressing? I know, Rhino, you came with a list
I did
of
come with a
information.
list today.
However, I think some of the things
okay.
you might have had on there, we were going to talk about anyways. I honestly don't remember. I didn't listen. I know the one thing you were
Wow.
going to mention was Halloween Horror Nights and the exclusive vacation packages that have gone on sale, which we kind of like really breezed over. Halloween
Yeah.
Horror Nights. I think it's because people got sick of us talking
What
about
do
it
you mean
the last time
breezed
around.
over it? You just didn't it just happen this week?
I thought that happened last week at some point.
It happened since Thursday's show. That's why I wrote it down.
It really did?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I'm not going crazy.
No, you just breezed over it.
I did. Now I'm
Easy
breezing
breezy,
over it.
beautiful. Craig,
girl.
Craig Williams.
All right, so what did you want to say?
He said what I said.
You can do a vacation.
There was a list. You said a list?
Yeah, but I don't
Well,
think...
I'll go back to that too because the vacation packages for Halloween Horror Nights are now available to book.
Yeah.
Giving you the perks. Of course, Sapphire Falls is added on there, and right now there's still a deal running where you get free breakfast or something or other whenever you. I can't remember like the exact details. I know it's free breakfast, but it's it's like per person once. Baloney details. I don't have it pulled up.
Free baloney
I'm the
breakfast.
worst host in the world. But the exciting information about it is within the announcement of that vacation package is that we found out how many nights it's going to be this year.
How many?
Which,
They're breaking records again.
I love it.
okay.
31 nights this year.
Wow.
So
Going all of October into November?
no, it doesn't even. That's not even happening. It's
Starts in
literally
September.
just
Starting in September?
September 16th through October 31st.
It started in September this year.
Yeah, but it's not going into November. Last year we had
Well,
30 nights.
It's because last
year.
year. No. It was
Leap year.
because November 1st was a Sunday, so it was the end of the weekend. So
leap
that's
year.
Okay.
Yeah, this year Halloween's on a Monday, so they're running it on a Monday, something they would never normally do. So it's cool. 31 days of Halloween Horror Nights. Like I said, the Lowe's Sapphire Falls vacation package is part of it too. So right now sorry, I was wrong about the breakfast. You receive a free $150 hotel dining credit per room when you stay 3 nights or longer, only at Lowe's Sapphire
that's pretty good.
Falls Resort. Really good. For Sunday through Thursday travel, the offer must be booked by May 31st, 2016. And that hotel, of course, is going to be Universal's first moderate that costs starting from $209 a night.
So you said per room, right? 150 per room?
$150 per room, dining credits.
That's pretty good because I feel like that's a couple meals. Like if it was just you and somebody else.
Yeah, if you know how to maximize your budget, you could probably do some damage with $150. Some serial damage.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Back to your list.
So I had a Kong thing, which I'm assuming you'll talk about when you talk about the other thing.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. And then this is also a Kong thing. The Face Off episode of Face Off.
I'll let you throw that in there at the end.
Okay.
So we'll talk about it. So, this morning, in a precedented announcement, I guess unprecedented, but precedented.
Precedented?
Unprecedented, they presented.
Precedented. Sorry.
Precedent.
I'm doing too precedenty and not precedenty enough.
Okay.
Sometimes there's nothing to do but sit back and
I'm
sigh.
still not sure what you're trying to say, but I think you should just say
There
it.
was an announcement.
Okay. There
And
was.
in the announcement, basically, it came as a blog post on Universal Orlando's official blog. And it was written by Mike West of Universal Creative. And he basically threw out the storyline of Skull Island, Reign of Kong, along with put out a little informational video on it, too. So if you want to read about it, you can go to our website, universal.wdwinfo.com, and you'll be able to find out all about it and watch the video that Universal put out. Don't give their official blog traction. Give ours.
Okay, yeah.
Do it for us.
Yeah, who wants to hear it from the mouth of the horse?
Yeah, don't go directly to the source for the information. Go to the third party for the
Don't
information.
get your milk from your cow.
We're cuter.
Exactly. But JL, you're going to run through and tell us what the storyline is, right?
Yes, I am, because it sounds really exciting. All right, so the idea is that guests are on a prehistoric island, and you're supposed to be joining up with the, Eighth Wonder Expedition Company to explore the island. So it talks about like moving through ancient ruins and these like foreboding shrines. It sounds very dramatic. I'm assuming that is in the queue because it talks about boarding a vehicle after that. And once you've boarded the vehicle, you go deeper into the jungle of this island, and you come across this big, huge temple. And the vehicles go past these wooden doors in the temple. I'm like,
Is
really
this a
building
real
this.
photo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an actual.
That's what it's looking like.
Well, I
They
mean, I've seen
started-
it from a distance, but like I just realized those are like real people, right?
Yeah, that's
That's
the scale size. They just started messing with the lighting sometime last week and
looks cool.
testing it. It's pretty.
Yeah, but Rhino, you just like interrupted my story, and now it's like I was being climatic, and you just
Climactic?
Climactic?
Yes,
Yeah, I don't know what climatic is, but
I believe it's climatizing to a story.
I was working on it.
well, I
And
had
you
to
brought it
stop
to a complete halt.
the wooden doors. You were about to leave them.
Yes, you go through the wooden doors, and then inside the wooden doors, there's these. It's a labyrinth of caves, is what they've described it as, and in those caves are really, really big creatures. And they're fighting with each other. And then they realize that you're there and they're about to turn on you. And just when you think it's all about to end, Kong comes into the picture. And it's very dramatic. And he's bigger than everyone else. And we are left not knowing if he's going to save us from the terrible creatures that were going to kill us, or if he's going to be the one to kill us. And that is the story of the ride.
Captivating. I thought he was going to come in and like Kermit. Yay!
Nope, that's not how this story goes. And it sounds amazing. I can't wait to go.
No, this is. I think it's no surprise. We already knew that it was going to be an incredible attraction, just from the concept art that they threw out there and some of the initial rumblings. But now that we have the storyline, it's even more exciting. Add on to that the. Okay, go.
Were you going to talk about how it's one of the longest rides that's been created for Universal, and the person that flew over the place in a helicopter and took pictures, and so you got a little bit of a look of what's going to happen with the ride?
Well, we'll talk about how long it is. So a while back, they said it was going to be at least 6 minutes.
That's great.
It's kind of weird thinking about it, though, in that aspect that, you know, they consider 6 minutes one of the longest attractions. But when you think about it, most attractions are between 2 and 4 minutes. So that extra 2 minutes, that's a lot.
Do you happen to know off the top of your head how long Forbidden Journey is?
It is 4 minutes and 20 seconds.
See, and when you're on that ride, it feels like you've been on that ride a while.
Yeah.
You don't feel like that's a quick ride. So this is actually 50% longer than that? Is that what you're telling me?
No, it would be like another minute and a half longer.
Okay, well, close to that then.
So
okay,
it's a very, very long attraction. Very long attraction. So, but I think Universal's been doing a brilliant job in terms of marketing Kong. I think they announced it at the perfect time. Whenever everyone already knew that it was coming, instead of holding back longer and longer, they finally announced it. And then they've just been slowly leaking out stuff a little bit as it goes further along the way. And then was it just a week ago or a little bit longer that they came out with the start of their viral marketing campaign, the Myth Explorer?
How
long ago was that, Rhino?
Since last episode.
Okay. But I also know you don't keep up with the news that much, so sometimes things might even slip past you.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think we both know what I'm talking about.
I think we do.
But they released the preview, and then today, as part of the whole announcement, they also released the first episode. I haven't had the chance to watch it all the way through, but it's...
I didn't. I was running off our dinner last night this morning, so
okay.
I did not have time to do
Fantastic. But the first episode is the journey to Skull Island, so it's like a faux documentary about going to Skull Island to explore it and, you know, see the mystery that lies within it. I think it's awesome that they're doing this nice little campaign to keep getting people excited up. Still no date that it's going to open.
Just
That's a
sometime
bummer.
in the summer.
Summer 2016.
It's coming up.
It is.
We only have spring to get through, and then we're there.
Yeah.
Summer could be August
can't wait.
30th.
Now, let's not... I don't think it's going to be put off that long, but I can't wait for it. And especially with some of the elements. We obviously know the Jeep that's going to drive you through. There's going to be the caves. There's going to be the outdoor portions. Everyone's talking about the queue and how interactive and alive the queue's going to be. And there was even rumors of live performers being in the queue, and that has been backed up with a little bit of information via the show Face Off on Sci-Fi. Right, Rhino?
Yes.
Wow. look at
Yeah.
that.
The March 30th episode of Face Off, for those of you who are watching that on Sci-Fi, is going to be Kong themed. Kong Skull Island, since Universal owns the Sci-Fi Network. But that's a great show. It's interesting too. I love that they're still like using this show to promote stuff, because if you remember, it was not this past Halloween, the one before it, they had Face Off in Halloween Horror Nights was like one of their scare zones. And I was always bummed because the night I went, it wasn't like nobody was there. So I look forward to seeing like maybe they'll bring some of that back into the park.
Well, yeah, the
Synergy.
rumors is that with Face Off, obviously, they're going to be doing designs for some of the characters that will be in the queue.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
So, as part of the whole story, which
Very cool.
that would be very neato. Vegito.
Bendito.
So, we'll keep you updated on anything that Kong related that comes way all the information.
Wow,
We'll
we are really.
we'll give you
very
our
Spanish
take.
today.
Yes, Olay. That's how I.
That's how you
all
end
my
news
text
stories.
messages.
Ole. Actually, you did text me
That's
that
Rhino.
last night. He's telling the truth.
When I'm done with the conversation, I say Olay.
That's his safe word.
I
It's
was amazing.
it's the best way to handle things. So, so we want King Kong to come. Obviously.
Obviously. Obviously, you don't know my dog.
We also really wanted Hello Kitty to come.
That's best in show for anybody who didn't know. But
Obviously. But now, Hello Kitty is here. Oh, Hello Kitty is here.
oh, hello, kitty. Meow.
She's here. And the store is open. The one that basically took over. Well, not
Oh,
basically. It
It
did
did.
take over Lucia Tribute.
That garbage ET poster is still there, too.
Okay, well, there's 3 total posters. I still haven't finished my video for it. It's, as a, I don't want to like sound snobby in a way, but as a videographer, it's easy to like really edit a video quickly whenever you actually care about the subject that you're doing. So editing,
So this one's going to take 2 years?
yeah,
Is that
editing
what
a
you
Hello
told me?
Kitty video is like going to the dentist knowing that you're going to get a root canal. It's
That's great.
like being in the store, I was probably in there filming for maybe 10 minutes, but I would say it felt like I was in there for eternity.
It's your own personal hell.
I get that.
Something about it's just so bright. It's a very bright store, and it's obviously lined every inch with Hello Kitty merchandise. Just wall to wall to wall Hello Kitty merchandise. I mean,
Ugh.
this is a Hello Kitty fan's dream. But for a Craig, this is
look
not.
at
The
those
only
guys.
thing Craig could probably get behind was the snack counter
What
that had
are-
some really fun looking snacks.
Those look like little green dragons.
They're like
frogs.
They're frogs. It's one
Karopi.
of the Hello Kitty things. I'm
Oh.
sure someone knows the name for what a Hello Kitty frog is.
It says Karopi right on it.
It's a Karopi.
Where does it say? Never mind.
Keroppi apple. Karopi apple.
I can't read it.
Karopi. So
Sorry.
no, it's overall they did a fantastic job with it. The posters are up, and there's 3 of them. There's the ET one and the Jaws one that we've shown before. There's also a Back to the Future one.
Oh no.
Yep.
What is it? What is it? I don't know. No,
Saying
don't
it.
tell me.
They raped your favorite movie
Yeah,
poster.
they did. That poster is framed in my loft in my special place.
Yeah. Well,
Now Hello Kitty has violated
now
it.
Hello Kitty is
We're not going to talk
Marty
about
McFly.
violating your special places anymore right now, Rhino.
Am I going to, or are you?
No, let's not.
I think that's for another show.
I got plenty of shows about it.
Oh. Beyond the scope of this one.
Yes. Everything that's supposed to be in the store isn't open yet. There's supposed to be at some point a meet and greet or interactive experience with Hello Kitty. That isn't in place yet. There's supposed to be like a create your own Hello Kitty ribbon. That's not a part of the store yet.
Ribbon as in hair bow or
yeah,
as in like
bow.
I won
A
an
bow.
award?
A bow.
Okay.
Like a Hello Kitty bow.
Okay.
And then also, the store is going to have exclusive merchandise that you can only get at Universal Orlando. There's a couple things now. There's a T-shirt that we've already shown a picture of for those of you watching this, and it'll be in the show notes for everyone else. But Yeah, so there's an exclusive T-shirt right now, 2 different coffee cups, and then 2 kind of like tumbler cups that you can get that you can only buy at Universal. But like that T-shirt's $34.95, which I think is ridiculous for a T-shirt. But
It's not. God, barely has sleeves.
I know, right? If it was long sleeved, it might cost $50. But I have to tell you, there was like moments where no one would be in the store, and it was like perfect. You could shoot great pictures and video, and then the next thing there would be these just swarms of people. And the worst, and I'm not being stereotyping here, but there was this group of, I would say maybe 12, 13 Japanese kids, all in their Harry Potter robes, and they just went bananas over this. I mean, they were picking it up. There was a guy picking up bathrobes of Hello Kitty.
Oh.
So,
well,
clearly there
is a market.
A market for it.
What's the Japanese term for it? Kawaii, I think is the term for that Japanese cute culture thing. Isn't Hello Kitty a part of all that?
Something.
Kawaii?
I mean, Hello Kitty, I know it's Sanrio and all that stuff. I don't know enough about it. If you couldn't figure it out, I'm not really into cute Japanese cartoons.
Okay. Well,
I like the more gritty ones.
you like anime? Like Soul Eater?
No, I don't like anime per se. I like a lot of Studio Ghibli movies.
Okay.
But
gotcha.
That's about the extent of it, and that's just because I really enjoy the stories. Hello Kitty, from what I understand, probably has stories out there. But if it's about Kitty dealing with too many rainbows and too much love,
Someone's been reading my autobiography.
That's just not really for me. So
This is one thing that's going to show up in there a lot. It's a lot of Kitty.
Well, yeah. Okay.
So
we can sum up by quoting Gwen Stefani. Super kawaii. That's what she says.
Fantastic. That is everything that I wanted to really kind of break down and talk about before we got to the main reason we're here, and that's Margaritaville. And boy, I think we've got a surprise for you on this one. Or maybe it won't be a surprise. Who the heck knows? We'll have to find out. But before we do that, we are going to watch a very short video. So for anyone who hasn't been in there yet, they can kind of get an idea or a feeling of what exactly Margaritaville is. So find this at youtube.com/WDWinfo. Oh, that was a bad cut.
That was terrible.
I'll have to fix that later. Guess that's why they say you should always look at what you do before you show it to the world.
I pushed him. Oh.
Oh.
Mm.
That's actually Jimmy Buffett himself in that car. Fix the music.
Yeah. It's awkward now because it's just there.
What just happened?
I forgot to put the track
I was
in.
going to say, what
Why?
just happened?
He was trying to do the cheese. What's the song? Could I sing it for you?
Start singing Margaritaville.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, it's back on.
This is my favorite video package.
Oh.
That was the most disturbing thing we saw the entire time. So like tall pirates climbing into a hole. Ah,
Beautiful.
wow, Craig.
Work of art.
I can't say you outdid yourself there, but
Craig, you old so-and-so.
Craig definitely did something there.
It was fun.
I'm going to demote myself.
Too many margaritas last night.
Yeah, well, no, not enough, probably. If I had more, it might come out better. But Margaritaville, I definitely will say right off the bat that I had preconceived notions going into this one. It's not my first time at Margaritaville, actually multiple times. And I think 3 times, 2 of them were actually really good experiences. One, not so good, but that was the last one that I was there. That was the not so good one that kind of did it for me on ever really wanting to like it again. But
It's just a place when people are like, "Oh, we're going to Margaritaville." I'm always like, in the 8 years I've been there, lived in Florida, I've probably only been there like 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, it seems to be one of those places that you could just kind of agree to go to, but not that you like actually really want to go to. At least that's how we all approached it. I approached it the same way. I was kind of like, oh, we got to do a dining review on Margaritaville. All right.
yeah, and the first time I went was with my family after I started working at Universal, and they came down and like Margaritaville. But that was back before, there was a lot of the unique original restaurants like Antojitos and Vivo, and that was back in the days of Pasta More, Latin Quarter. So Margaritaville was very attractive compared to
especially
a lot
for
of those ones.
for somebody who's like your parents are from the north, and when I'm from Massachusetts too, so I feel like a lot of people up there like they love that, especially being from like Boston, Jimmy Buffett, and it's like they hear Margaritaville and it becomes like a destination for them.
Hey, absolutely, exactly. So that first time it was really great from what I can remember, and then after that, that's whenever it came into this whole obligation thing. It's like, oh, we have to go. There's a party happening. Everyone's meeting there. Okay, and then even going beyond that, I don't know. It's just now that we've been cruising and stuff. More working with the Diz, I feel like Margaritaville's like a Senor Frogs, they have them in all the island places, and I don't
Senor Frogs.
I just don't want to deal with it. However, this experience not only provided a change in latitude, but also a change in attitude.
Oh,
wow.
I see what you did.
We had changes in latitude, changes in attitude.
You were making fun of me this morning for playing on words.
There's going to be a lot of Jimmy Buffett song references in this one.
Oh, see, I take it back. I was going to say, I don't even wish I knew the songs for this.
Grapefruit.
They're like, for me, they're like the BGM of my life. Like, they're just background music that you've heard. Because my boss when I worked at Borders loved Jimmy Buffett. And so I know I've heard it all, but you tune it out.
Jimmy Buffett, the songs you know by heart. One of the best compilation albums ever. It's got the yellow cover, all the hits. Kicks off with Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Mm-hmm. And they play all those hits in the restaurant, too. Yeah,
I'm sure my memory's, warped, but I can remember, driving down to Hilton Head maybe on vacation with the family back whenever I was growing up, and that was Jimmy Buffett always had some sort of representation. Maybe I've just been sniffing a lot of glue and drinking too much, but I feel like that happened because I have an appreciation for Jimmy Buffett today. I'm not sniffing glue, by the way. That was just the first thing I could think of.
Well, when we were kids, they had that edible paste for us. I'm not even kidding you.
Right.
You could eat it.
Yeah, and who doesn't love a little bit of rubber cement every now and then?
Well, that's the sniffing.
Wow.
The sniffing
Yeah,
glue.
that's definitely the sniffing stuff.
Okay. Well,
anyway.
Here, there, and everywhere. So we all were kind of going ugh into this one. And upon our first encounter with the hostess, I can't say that I was much more impressed. First off, we went at a very awkward time. It was about 3:30-ish.
So it was right in between the shift change for the servers.
Yeah, and So obviously the restaurant was dead. I think there was maybe 3 or 4 tables whenever we got in. A couple people at the bar starting to drink early. A little bit more outside on the porch of indecision. But we were basically going into an empty restaurant. And
But before you even got to the hostess, there was the guy who was like greeting people. I'm assuming he was like manager or
Yeah.
whatever. He was just so insincere, like, welcome to Margaritaville. Like, hey, but like his movements seemed like he was excited. I don't know. He was like swinging his arms. It was a very odd experience in the first like 30 seconds.
exactly. And so we obviously let them know that we needed table for 3. There was a lot of indecision, just like the porch of indecision, about whether or not we should sit outside or inside.
It was windy.
It was very windy. I obviously made the choice to sit inside because that's the kind of leader that I am, and we decided to sit inside. But after I made a couple, I don't even remember what the jokes were anymore. What did I say to her?
Oh, I don't have it on
missed that
camera.
whole part because I was walking next to the hostess. You guys were lagging behind talking about her, I guess, but I missed the whole episode of what happened.
Well, it was whenever we were originally talking to her. I made some sort of joke, and granted, it wasn't funny. I know I'm not funny. I've admitted this multiple times, but I think it's polite for people to still laugh.
Didn't you say something? You were like, you get that 1,000 times, or is that something you said to Gabby? I said that to
no,
Gabby.
I said that to the hostess.
Yeah,
I do
and she
remember
just
that.
like turned and walked away. So in the video, you just
I think
if you go to
made
our
some
Twitter or
kind of
Facebook,
reference
you'll
to
see
Yeah.
it.
wasting away.
Oh, yeah, it was
Margaritaville. And she was like,
Yeah, no, she did not even do that.
She took a, no,
She
she
didn't do
she
that.
turned on a dime and she took off.
We've both been servers before. We know that you have to have a fake laugh
Yes.
for these kind of situations.
yes. And
She
make
did
sure-
not provide a fake laugh. Therefore, we walked out. We never ate.
That's it, guys. We'll see you next week with the next edition of what show is this?
Does Universal?
Bow wow 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 wow.
Is that how you hear the theme song?
Is that
Oh my gosh.
So we got seated in the nearly empty restaurant. I don't think we were there for.
Here's a photo.
Yeah, nearly empty. Yeah, before we really jump into the experience, let's just talk about the interior of the restaurant. It's a decently big room on the inside in the floor seating.
It feels very large in there.
Well, and it feels very large because it is very large in that it's very wide open on the main floor, but then there's also an upstairs that they use whenever it's busy. So basically Friday, Saturday nights, I've eaten up there multiple times.
And inside, it's themed extremely well. The colors are all, colors that you would see in the Keys. There's the colors of the sunsets, and then the, aquatic colors with the aquas and
Yeah.
other kinds of blues. There's masts and sails everywhere. On the sails,
Fishing poles.
Well, because you're under sea.
No, there's a lot of boat stuff where you're in the boat, not under the sea.
Yeah, but some parts you're under the sea.
Yes, some parts you are, where they have like hanging sharks up above and stuff like that. And but then they have like on the sails, there's video footage projected onto the sails that's running constantly of people doing relaxing things in the Keys, or they're at Jimmy Buffett concerts, or they're drinking and a lot.
And so our experience, it was relatively quiet in the entire time. Even as the restaurant got busier and busier, it still maintained a relative quietness to it. However, on select nights, there will be live bands that perform inside, and
it gets loud.
it gets very loud, almost to the point that I hate that they have live bands.
It's a turnoff
It
for me.
becomes very difficult to have a conversation with the people that you're with during those times, just 'cause it is
Especially
so loud.
in a place that, when I think about going to eat at these places, I think like, okay, this is the end of the day at a theme park. And I always like, catch the pieces of people's conversation as they're leaving, because Margaritaville is located like just over the bridge where the entrance to Islands of Adventure is. And so, I heard these people coming in, and they were like, it was one of those great conversations you hear where it's just people talking about their day, and they were like, oh, I don't know which thing was better. Was this thing better? Was this thing better? And they had clearly had like an amazing time. And I was like, if there had been live music, it's not the place you want to go and like digest your day,
Exactly. However, also they do music out on the porch of Indecision. But usually that's just an acoustic performer out there by himself. And for me, that I enjoy whenever you're sitting out on a patio and there's a solo live performer who's out there just
Like at Trader
singing away.
Sam's?
Yeah,
They do that?
never too loud, just something nice to have in the background. So definitely be considerate about what time you're going to Margaritaville. I actually highly recommend our bizarre time is like
Yeah.
an early dinner. And there are ways to do this as an early dinner and make sure you don't eat for the rest of the night. I didn't eat for the rest of the night, and I was up until 1 a.m. So
Yeah, we were stuffed. and,
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't even feel the need to eat lunch today. Like, I'm still full from yesterday. I did eat lunch, but I just did it more out of necessity.
Oh yeah, but I definitely ate lunch today. A lot of lunch. And some of my French fries from last night that I didn't finish. But
There was just so much food, so much food.
there was so much food, so much food. So
I like where we sat.
overall, yeah, I like where we sat too. I really enjoy the atmosphere on the inside. It's a cool environment. One of the coolest aspects of it, which a lot of people will find obnoxious and annoying, is obviously the volcano,
Which we sat near.
which we did. We requested to sit near.
The volcano's at the bar.
Yep, it's at one of the bars. There's multiple bars throughout the joint. There's
That's
two
the
on the
point.
main floor and then one upstairs. And then technically the Lone Palm Airport then, which is across the way, but still all part of the Margaritaville family. That's the one that's by the plane, if you've ever been there, the Lone Palm Airport. But yeah, at the main bar, there's a volcano right up above it, and the booze in the blender is
Booze in the blender.
filled up. It's doing the volcano thing all the time, and then all of a sudden,
the tornado?
the tornado thing all the time. Twister, ride it, and then all of a sudden it'll start draining, and volcano starts coming on, and I'm not gonna sing. You're just gonna have to pretend it in your ears, or Rhino will sing it.
I
I don't know the words.
where I'm gonna go. Something about
When
a
the
volcano blow.
Something about that.
I don't know.
I don't know.
It gets loud. They play that
don't
song like
know.
extra
I
loud.
don't know where I'm
When it
gonna go
happens.
when the volcano blow. Here we go now.
So they play that whole song.
Boo-doo, boo, boo-doo, boo-doo, boo. Yeah. I learned the steel drums just so I could play that song and feeling hot.
It was well worth the effort.
So yeah, the song comes on and it's smoke starts coming off whenever it matches the line in the song, and there's no booze in the blender, and so
worst
then
kind
the
of
volcano erupts and all this water starts gushing down. You saw it in the video, and it just pours all the way back into the blender, and then it's filled back up. Twister starts again. Another Jimmy Buffett hit. Is that when they play
That's when they
Margaritaville
play
right after?
Wasting Away in Margaritaville.
And it's really fun. I mean, we were there for probably an hour and a half, so we saw it three times.
At
twice?
least twice.
Yeah, it was definitely twice because I got up and filmed it on my phone, and then it happened again, and you were filming it too. So
Yeah.
I
I
think
know-
it was like 2 times.
Yeah, I know a lot with like the Diz. We've been very unkind to places like Rainforest Cafe for how noisy, and despite like children thinking that the interiors are cool, which I did whenever I was a kid, I still enjoy it from time to time whenever I want to feel nostalgic. This is kind of that same aspect but for adults. I don't know. It's just in this environment, it feels fun because it's just like a little glimmer of it, and then it's over.
It's also not done as frequently as those rainforest and the meteor strikes in those two, and T-Rex and the other one. They're like every 20 minutes or something like that. And here, I really think the volcano goes off every 45 minutes. Is what it felt like, or maybe 30, but it didn't feel excessive. I wasn't like, oh God, here goes the volcano again.
All it did was encourage me to want to drink more.
Seriously,
But I didn't. I was responsible yesterday, as always.
But we had margaritas.
Yes, we did have margaritas. We'll start there, I guess.
Well, we don't have. I don't think there's a.
I didn't put in the picture.
Okay.
They did not come out well.
Okay.
You would have thought we were drunk when we were taking pictures of our not drunk margaritas
Yeah.
because it was just sloppy. I took the picture. It was my bad. Just wasn't composed
sloppy
right.
Joe over there.
But Rhino got the perfect margarita.
And it certainly was. I believe it was 10.75. I don't know why I'm talking like that, but
It was 10.75.
brought in my Southern Belle. But it was. I asked her. I said, which one of these? Now, first of all, I said, are they good? You were the one who told me like you did enjoy the margaritas here because sometimes I hate when you get a margarita somewhere and it's just like the stupid mix. It just hurts my throat. And I asked her like which one of these is the stronger one because I'm a big boy and I want to feel a little kick from my margarita because I like tequila a lot. And she recommended the perfect margarita, and it was great. I could taste the tequila. Like clearly they had made this with alcohol, but it wasn't overpowering. It was very like an enjoyable margarita. There was no like overly strong anything. It was perfect.
Exactly. I had the feeling hot, which was their take on a spicy margarita. Also $10.75. All the margaritas ranged from $10 to $10.75, and then their
they had
big
one that was like
margarita
14
was $13.75, and that's the one that had like the floater with Grand Marnier on it. So that one's a little bit more expensive for the extra alcohol. But the feeling hot, it was not nearly as spicy as I was hoping for. It was very on the sweet side. However, our server did tell me that it was going to be sweet, but after the first order that we put in, she kind of had the idea that I did like things spicy, and I liked it. So she made sure that they put extra jalapenos in it, which was very much appreciated. But normally with like a spicy jalapeno margarita, they'll muddle the jalapenos and bring the spices out this way. These were just it was kind of like a margarita garnished with jalapenos. But as the longer it sat, the more the flavors from the jalapenos started to slip in, and it made it very enjoyable. And JL, I'm going to let you mention what you had real quick, and then I'm going to tell everyone about who gave us these drink recommendations.
Okay. I did not have a margarita. In fact, I did not have an alcoholic drink at all. I had a virgin pina colada, and it was fantastic. Pina coladas are something that I like, and I get somewhat regularly. And sometimes it can get really messed up because sometimes they make the pina colada too sweet. This was not too sweet. It was just the right amount of sweet. It was... and it didn't last very long because I drank it all up.
Oh, you sucked it up.
I did.
You sucked it up quick. All these drinks came via recommendation of our amazing, amazing server, Gabby, who, if you are ever in there...
ask for her.
Please ask for her.
Ask if she's working. I know the last time, whenever we did... Well, not the last time, but long ago when we did NBA City, we raved about our server, John, who was incredible. Gabby was she was the female version of John. She was
on the ball.
On the freaking ball.
The second we didn't even sit down. From the second we approached the table.
We approached the table. She started to see us. We sat down. You ran off to the bathroom. She immediately came over and was like, "I'll just get you guys some waters. All three of you waters while you're waiting." It's like, oh, that didn't even have to ask. Already knew. I love that. And then basically she was just on the spot with recommendations about everything, telling us about the drinks. And because, it's not just all margaritas there. They also have a selection of beers hosted by Land Shark.
They called the
beer.
They called the non-margaritas something. Boats?
The boat drinks.
Boat drinks, yeah.
It's also a Jimmy Buffett song, so there's not a pun involved.
Okay.
Just a reference.
Just a reference.
Okay.
No pun, just a reference. But yeah, then they had a lot of other boat drinks, non-tequila based drinks, and I can't remember which one she recommended.
The Mai Tai.
Mama.
Oh,
Bahama Mama. That's the one that she recommended out of that. And so yeah, she was very thorough with that, as well as telling us about the appetizers, just a few of her favorite menu items. Like pretty much all server will do, but this, I trusted her, and I trusted all her recommendations. Before we leave the margaritas completely, I'll just throw this out there. The margaritas here are good. They are not the best margaritas you will get at Universal Orlando.
Where's the best one?
Anahitos.
Really?
100%. For multiple reasons. The size, the quality of the tequila they use, and the variety of margaritas they have.
Give it another shot because I had a horrible margarita there. And that was the place I was thinking of with the syrup.
They didn't like you because you call it Antijotes.
Yeah,
maybe.
You don't say the name right, so that's why they don't like you. As someone who in one night...
No, I want to try it now.
I'm not going to say that story, but as someone who has sampled every drink that Anahitos has to offer...
Good Lord, in one night?
Maybe or maybe not in one night. They are on
How are you
the
still with us?
ball. I don't know.
God must love you.
That was
Or
a crazy
Satan, one of the two.
Second best. Second best, not the first best. Moving on.
Worth ordering, though.
Worth ordering.
Yes.
Absolutely get one if you are eating at Margaritaville. Something that will just go perfectly with the meal. But if you just want... There's outside of the restaurant in two places, there's margarita to-go windows that you can just walk up, get a margarita, and leave. Can't go out of CityWalk. You can't take it in the theme parks. It has to stay in CityWalk, but you can use those. I would recommend still going to the Anahitos one, but they're available there, and they are a viable option if that's what you're looking for. That's what you want. Let's move on to the appetizers. We started with the recommended menu item, as well as I think probably the most popular appetizer out there, and that was the nachos.
The volcano nachos.
The volcano nachos. These are...
Got our jalapenos
Yeah,
on the side.
the jalapenos were on the side for JL's comfort. She explained how they make these to us. So it is basically chili and cheese, not chili cheese. Chili and cheese, the chips, and then other garnishes, like sour cream,
guacamole.
No, wait, but before that,
jalapenos,
before you get
but
to that stuff,
they don't put the toppings on right away. They do the chili and the cheese and the chips, and then they start to broil it, and then they flip it over.
Yeah.
After it's been broiled and it all starts to melt together, and then they put more on, and then they put the topping on. So that way, all the chips at the bottom are actually getting evenly distributed with the ingredients, which
was
is
much
brilliant.
to Rhino's relief because he was very concerned about naked chips.
Yeah, I have this big issue when you order nachos at a restaurant. And Craig and I were at the ale house on Sunday, and Craig took the chip and underneath that chip, naked chips everywhere. And you got to layer your nachos, man. And this place, this would be the equivalent of about 4 or 5 layers, I would say, is how much you get on this mound. And we were getting to the bottom, and we ate almost all of this.
Yeah,
and
we did.
I was pulling back chips with the fork and being like, look, there's still a cave of deliciousness under here.
However,
it was great.
Typically, I would say that this dish would serve 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Yes.
If not more than that. I would say 4 to 8 could eat out of this comfortably. Yes. We were just being disgusting pigs.
I mean, you can't tell how tall it is from that picture that we just showed because you're getting the bird's eye view. But if you were looking at it straight on, I would say that's inches high.
It's probably 6 to 8.
Yeah,
they were some of the best nachos I've had.
It's such a...
I would order this in a heartbeat.
Nachos.
And at $15.99, it was priced perfectly.
Yeah.
I would get these again.
You were definitely getting what you're paying for.
Yeah. We also did the pretzel sticks, served warm with mustard and homemade queso. You heard us rave about the pretzel at NBC Sports Brill and Grew. And...
Brill and Grew?
Yeah, that was what I said the first time we did that. So
yeah, but that's what I've been calling it now by accident, too.
It's the Brill and Grew.
Damn it.
And these are, I'm happy to report, they are just as good.
Oh, yeah, they were great.
If not better, because
I was just going to say, I
and you don't
I liked
have to
it
rip
better.
off each other.
Yeah, they were super soft, and the salt is used sparingly on them, which is nice because I hate over-salted pretzel, but I love pretzel bread. And that mustard and sauce are great. That cheese sauce is not overly thick or heavy, but it's definitely a really good dip and cheese sauce.
I agree with everything you just said. You just nailed it.
Couldn't say it any better myself. They were fantastic. At $9.49, maybe $1
Yeah.
or two more expensive than it should have been, but still, you have to remember, Margaritaville is not a Universal owned property, so they're making all their menu prices little bit on the higher side. Same way we saw at MBA City whenever we went and did there. However, the prices overall for this restaurant are still way under what you'd go and pay over at Disney. They were very, very reasonably priced.
I'm sure those nachos would probably have been at least like $22 or something like that at Disney. Like that's how much was there. Yeah.
Yeah, even 20, I could say they would probably sell it for 25.
Yeah.
These greedy sons of
JL.
What was your entree?
Okay, so before I talk about what my entree was, I want to go back to the hostess stand for a second. And I know that we had the rough start because she didn't laugh at your jokes. But I was very impressed with her for this reason. When she went to seat us and she was grabbing the menus, the first thing she said to us was, "Does anybody need a vegetarian or gluten-free menu?"
Yeah.
And I thought that I've actually... other than Seasons 52, I've never seen a restaurant do that before, where before you're even seated, they ask if you need an alternative menu, and they don't wait on you to say to them, "Hey, I've got an issue." They just go ahead and offer that to you in case you need it. So they brought a vegetarian menu to the table for me because I thought, well, I'd like to see what they had. And the things that they had on the menu was... there wasn't tons of stuff. There was 4 entrees, 3 starters, and a whole lot of sides. But it was ample, and they all looked so good. I did decide to go ahead and get something from the vegetarian menu, and I got the margarita pasta, which was roasted red and green bell peppers, onions, and garlic in lime cilantro butter, tossed with cavatappi pasta, and then also topped with queso fresco cheese. That was $16.99, and it was delicious.
Good. Yeah, I didn't try any of it, but you also killed it. I mean, for the most part, you took some home.
I took some home because I filled up on nachos, but had I not, every single bit of this would have been eaten. It was so good. I originally was going to have the onions left off of it because I'm not normally a fan of onion things with my delicate intestines, but Gabby said that she loved the onions in the meal. So since she had been so fantastic, I decided to go with her recommendation, and I kept the onions on, and it was great. The only hang up I had about this dish was that the garlic in the dish was actually whole garlic cloves rather than like minced garlic.
Oh,
so,
I like that though.
Well, oh God, I love that. I could see one right here in the photo. Looks delicious.
Yeah, the cloves were huge. They weren't like little cloves. These were cloves. And I love garlic. Love it. Love it. I will sometimes eat it raw. I love it so much. But these cloves were so big that it was... I think I maybe would have preferred them to be cut up into smaller pieces when it came out rather than I take a bite and then it's just like a massive garlic clove in my mouth. The other thing that I wasn't expecting about this meal was it had a little bit of kick to it. And I'm not exactly sure where that kick came from other than, pepper that had that the dish had been seasoned with. But it did have a little bit of bite to it as well. It was good. It was good, but it was there, and I wasn't quite expecting that when I had gotten it.
Well, Rhino, you got the fish tacos that are typically crispy fried cod fish in land shark batter topped with avocado, cilantro, lime coleslaw, and key lime crema served with black beans, rice, and pico de gallo. However, the fish of the day was mahi. So you went ahead and upgraded to blackened mahi for $3 extra?
Yeah.
Yes?
Absolutely.
Originally $17.99, costing us $20.99.
I know. It was when they were like the price they were before, I was even like, oh, it's a little like for fish tacos, but I do love mahi so much that when she said it, I was like, I'll just have to do it. I was surprised there were only 2, not upset. I mean, we had just eaten so many of the nachos, but here's a photograph if you're watching. And I have to tell you, though, delicious. so good, and so good with the mahi mahi. Like, if you're going to order this dish, I am interested to try that land shark batter, actually, but I would absolutely take mahi mahi over, what was the fish you said? Cod, I think?
It was cod, yeah.
Yeah, so I would absolutely do mahi mahi over that in a second. The taco, though, was like so full I couldn't even like close it. Like, I was having trouble lifting it up to eat it.
Yeah, whenever I saw that there was only 2 on the plate, I was like, oh, that's kind of it's kind of a rip. But then
normally
as
3.
soon as you tried to pick it up, then all of a sudden it made perfect sense.
Yeah.
Your portion size was huge. Typically, not all the time, but for something like fish tacos, you might see that on a sandwich menu.
It's usually a trio.
But this was on the entree, and it was definitely entree sized. It wasn't just a side of black beans.
Oh, no.
It had a literal bowl of black beans.
Yeah, like that was a lot. And it was delicious. I don't like cilantro at all. And I actually didn't even know there was cilantro in here till I read this. So I think I just like it when it's used appropriately. I don't like when it's a flavor I can taste on its own. And the description here, God, I just wish I had one of those tacos right now to to seriously eat again. Key lime crema. If you're somebody who's worried like, oh, I don't like lime, it's not overly tart as sometimes key limes can be. I would recommend it in a heartbeat. The black beans and rice were good. Standard issue kind of side here, but I even, because we ate so much, brought the other one home. And I gave it to Eli, and he really enjoyed it too. And he is somebody who is very particular about that sort of food. So I was actually surprised that he enjoyed it, but
Good.
it was good. Like, I'm actually liked it so much that I want to see if I can find like a recipe and maybe try and do like turn this into something I make at my house when I have people over or something.
Very nice. So I went stereotypical here, and I got the most Jimmy Buffett meal that you could have, and of course that's the cheeseburger in paradise. I had mine with lettuce and tomato, Heinz 57, French fried potato, big kosher pickle, and a cold draft beer.
Wow.
Good God Almighty, which way do I steer for my cheeseburger in paradise? That came out as like a William Shatner style.
It was very William Shatner.
Cheeseburger in paradise.
Which way do I steer?
$13.99. Topped with American cheese, lettuce, tomato, pickles, and Paradise Island sauce.
It looked real
very
good.
much like Big Mac sauce. The first thing I noticed whenever the burger came is that it was all perfectly put together. And that usually is a sign to me that it's a frozen patty, and that's how it came shaped so perfectly. Mm-hmm. So I flat out asked Gabby, and she said no. It's basically, unless it's meant to be like frozen and then cooked, everything there is fresh, including the actual burger patty. I got it cooked medium, and it was actually perfectly cooked, which never happens. And this wasn't a thick, big burger. This was very thin. So the fact that they actually were able to cook it correctly, being that thin, was just very pleasant. Overall, it was absolutely delicious. I savored each and every bite of it.
How did it look when you got home?
It was a very good burger. It was fine.
Oh, it didn't like fall apart?
It was all fine. The little bit that I did have to bring home, it stayed together. It's a gift from God. The cheeseburger in paradise.
It looked real good.
It was excellent. And I hate getting burgers when I'm out unless I go to a specific burger place or it's a really unique burger. So for me to get just a cheeseburger is very out of the ordinary, but I would have no problem ordering this again. Served, of course, with the pickle, which I always like a pickle on the side.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah. How you doing? And then French fries. It can also be served with a side salad at no extra charge, or upgrade to sweet potato fries for 99 cents. I asked Gabby which she thought, and she said their sweet potato fries get a little soggy a little quicker, and
I appreciated her honesty.
Yeah, no, I did too, and because that night every little bit of upcharge makes a difference to a server. So the fact that she said, yeah, the fries are better, and they were very good fries. I think I had them there once before. They were solid, much better than you get at Cowfish. So I overall for $13.99, I thought this was a great value for the meal, and that leads us into dessert, which they have 3 different dessert options. Let's see if I remember the dessert menu. There's key lime pie,
and
the volcano dessert, which is just.
She said it was the equivalent of the nachos, but dessert style with like 3 brownies,
a pint of ice cream, and an incredible amount of toppings.
Yeah, it was basically a kitchen sink, but on a plate, and served at Margaritaville, and that was like $16.50. The key lime pie was, I believe, $7.99, and then what we got, which was bread pudding with bananas and chocolate. I believe it was chocolate bread pudding.
Chocolate chip banana bread pudding.
Yeah, chocolate chip banana bread pudding served with bananas and chocolate chip whipped cream. And then we were able to top it ourselves with chocolate and caramel sauce.
And there's ice cream on top there, too.
And a dollop of ice cream, close to a pint of ice cream, actually.
It was quite a bit of ice cream.
With how large the scoop was.
Sturdy snowball.
This one was also $7.99, I believe. Just out of this world in terms of a dessert And keep in mind, this is a dessert for one person. We still didn't finish it all with the 3 of us, even after. But we all left a little bit of room for dessert.
Yes, I know you said it's a dessert for one person. I think that would have to be a pretty sturdy person to finish that whole thing by themselves.
Oh, I think it's another one.
There's no way. Dessert for one?
It's for 4 people.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's not.
But yeah, I mean,
that guy at the beginning of 7,
dessert.
they find in the bed.
If I'm at Disney and I see a dessert on the menu that's $7.99, I would automatically assume that's a dessert for one person, because most of the time it is. That is not true at Margaritaville.
No.
This is big enough to fit multiple people, despite one person could order it. We always get banana desserts wherever we go.
The pickles and now the bananas, huh?
None of us really. First of all, Gabby didn't recommend the key lime pie, which we found unusual because it being Margaritaville, you would think that the key lime pie would be one of their signature things. So that was kind of a cue for us. Let's not get the key lime pie. She did not recommend it. When I say not recommend it, it doesn't mean she said don't get it. It just means there was an absence of her endorsing it. And then the volcano thing, which she endorsed very highly, but we were intimidated by the idea because it just sounded too much and we were already full, and we thought we just wanted a little bit of something at the end of the meal. We didn't want to feel sick by the time it was all over. So that, I think we went with the banana thing by default, plus Rhino likes bananas. And
no, I wanted the key lime pie.
You suggested the bread pudding.
No, I didn't. I said I like bread pudding too. It's okay. But if there's a key lime pie on a menu, anybody who knows me knows I'll order the key lime pie.
Oh, I'm glad we didn't go with the key lime pie.
Apparently there was some miscommunication yesterday and we didn't understand him. But anyway, that's how we came to the.
I actually don't.
It was like bananas by default, but wow, we really lucked out because it was so good.
Sure was.
Sure, indeed. So, overall, again, as I said, changes in latitude, changes in attitude. I didn't have anything here that I did not enjoy. I thoroughly enjoyed it all. I would even go as far as saying everything I had was excellent, which scares me to say, but everything we did have was excellent. And the cost, again, it was a little bit higher than what you would pay at, in my opinion, at Vivo. I think that still has some of the best prices here. This was a little bit more on the expensive side, but
the portions
were huge.
Oh my.
And
so we got 2 apps, 3 entrees, 1 dessert, and what was the total?
The total was 98, I believe, before 98 without our alcohol included. So we pulled the alcohol off. And so just the food itself, no alcohol, it was $98. After our Premier Pass discount, it dropped down to $80.
Wow.
Which $80 for all the food we had, plus JL's non-alcoholic drink, $80 for all that was a heck of a deal.
Yeah.
So I can't even complain about the price. Because typically, if we weren't going to do a review, I would have got, maybe I would have probably got the nachos and then an appetizer, no dessert. And I mean, for three
An
people
entree.
with that wouldn't get that expensive.
Yeah,
So-
I'm trying to run through it in my head because I'm thinking like the amount of food that we got versus the three of us. Like I think that still could have comfortably and easily fed two more people. I know there were only 3 entrees, but let's say like I split those tacos and one taco, and then you know what I mean? Yeah, it definitely could have fed 5 people and everybody would have left still very full.
Yep. No, this
Easily. I mean, like, I probably could have fed myself and my 3 children with those nachos and everybody getting a side, or
Yeah.
something. It's a lot of food.
Oh, it's so much food. So we all agree that we will recommend.
Yeah, I mean,
Must.
it's gotten to the point where that our meal for me, that was like a game changer meal for me. But like to the point where I will actually be like, there are 3 good restaurants in CityWalk now, and I want to be like, Cowfish is slowly bumping to the bottom of my list. Like I would say the NBC, and then I would say Margaritaville, and I'd say Cowfish, maybe the Mexican place. I don't know. I don't really
Good
like it
old
as much as you
Antiochus.
guys, but
No,
I'm just very happy that we had that experience because now I'm like, great. Now there's another place that we get to explore more food options.
Antojitos we need to do a review of that because it's okay. It's not great. It was great when they had the upstairs menu as well as the downstairs menu. The downstairs menu wasn't that good.
The 2 times I've been, I haven't enjoyed it.
The upstairs menu that served expensive, very expensive, but more mature Mexican dishes. That was incredible. However, it wasn't. No one was going up there to order that menu and do that. They all wanted your basic street Mexican food.
Yeah.
That is not very good at Antojitos. Some dishes are okay, some not.
Too salty.
So that restaurant still has issues. I'm wondering if it corrected itself yet. I don't know if it's the other competition that came in that made Margaritaville really step up its game, or maybe it's been like this all the time and we've just been so jaded. Either way,
There is one thing about Margaritaville that you haven't mentioned that I think is very important.
what?
The blender. Drink.
Oh, yes.
The booze in the blender.
That's right. So we talked a lot about margaritas, obviously, and the drinks. You have the option of getting your booze in a blender and taking that home as a souvenir cup. It's actually one of the souvenir cups
it's like
that I do not have. Despite
22 ounces, I think, is what they said. 22 or 24. It's a
was
big drink. And it's like, yeah, $20. And for the amount of, my friend's gotten it before. She was like, I don't know what I was thinking. There's no way. I can't get through this drink. So just a fun, cool thing there too. Signature item. I don't know.
Exactly. I completely agree. So we all think you should go and check out Margaritaville. If you're staying for a long time and you have an option to check out all the places we've already recommended in terms of eating there, we're not going to balance it around. You can decide what you like, but you now know Margaritaville is a viable option. So thank you guys so much for conversing with me about it and everything else we've talked about today. And thank you to everyone out there who took the time to listen to all this garbage nonsense that we've been throwing out there. And as always, make sure you hit that like button that's right below us to tell us that you like us. And for that one person who's hitting the thumbs down before it starts, what's the deal with you?
Who
Why
are
you
you?
doing that? Who are you?
are you?
Just come out and tell us. Even if it's a joke, just tell us. Let us know. For all the people out there listening, make sure you're subscribing to us on iTunes and reviewing us on there if you enjoy it or if you hate it. Doesn't matter. And for all those people out there that are watching this on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed to our channels, youtube.com/disunplugged, as well as youtube.com/WDWinfo. Both great channels. Look out for them. And make sure you're also going to disunplug.com. That's our show notes page where you can learn about this show as well as all of the other shows that we have and get information to anything you might need. Hey, you can even get information regarding stuff on the boards, disboards.com. It's that wonderful message boards where whenever a video is not posted instantly, you can go and ask where the video is and why it's not there yet. It's a very viable option. And then also make sure you're following us on social media. We'll be doing a little bit more on social media in the upcoming time, I think. A little bit more than normal. But
I liked our little preview
crazy.
video.
Did a little preview video of this. That's how you found out. If that's how you found out, then cool. It was fun. Rhino did it. It was great. But again, thank you so much to everyone out there who took the time to pay attention to this. And that's going to do it for this episode of the Diz Unplugged Universal Edition.
Next week, we're getting those resolutions going.
Yeah, all the resolutions. Next week, we'll have our resolutions. But until then, remember, margaritas are universal.